Hey folks, Mark chapter 5. Today we call this Set Free. And as you're reading it, you're reading about the moment when Jesus engaged the demon-possessed man. And I want you to look, as you're thinking about this, the characteristics of darkness. And what were those characteristics of darkness that we see? Well, notice the man dwelt in the tombs. By dwelling in the tombs, we have to identify and see that the man is identified with death. This is because darkness and sin is identified as a marker of death. It's what leads us to death. We also recognize that he is marked as one who is basically in shackles and in torment. Now, what is amazing about this is, though we have this physical encounter, is it points us to the reality of what darkness and sin do in our life. Darkness and sin hold us captive. They shackle us and they leave us in torment. And so we have to recognize that darkness and sin, yes, they are the way to death that have us in bondage, have us shackled, and are trying to leave us in torment. And why is this? Well, when we understand full association, is Jesus says, I am counter to this. And so when Jesus engages the demon-possessed man, we see something fascinating. We see that he approaches him because the light will defeat darkness. And we recognize that in this encounter, when this is over, that we have seen this moment where the shackles are destroyed and set free. We see that the torment is gone and he is free from it. That's because when we encounter Jesus, the bondage of sin is released. The curse of death is gone and we are set free to now live in him. But I find this fascinating. Jesus wants to engage with you personally. He wants to engage with you personally by calling you by name. He calls you and says, come to me and let me take off the shackles. Let me take off the bondage. Let me take off the torment and let me take away the curse of death and give you life. He asked it, who are you? And when he said, who are you? It's not that he didn't know, but he was identifying that he calls us by name to be set free from the darkness and the bondage of sin. You may say, well, do I face that? Absolutely. Just think about the cartoons that we see so often with the demon on one shoulder, the angel on the other, and there's this tug of war of what one should do. You and I live in that reality. But know this truth, that we must seek the Lord, because even in the battle, he is the place where we are set free.